Hey guys, my name is Corporal Bona, and today we're going to be talking about leadership in the Army profession. The length of this class will be about 10 minutes, so not too bad. Alright, why the United States is the greatest fighting force on the planet. So there are three types of leadership. You have direct, organizational, and strategic. Direct leadership is the level you are either a part of or you interact with the most, depending on your rank. It goes from corporals like myself at the lowest all the way up to colonels. Face-to-face communication is the name of the game for direct leadership, which means a lot of the times there is a more intimate connection with soldiers at this level. The lowest level of leadership in the team, squad, section, platoon, or even battery, whatever the case may be, will mentor and develop their subordinate leaders. Or in the case of the lowest level of leadership, they will mentor our future leaders, being a lot of y'all. Everyone starts here on the direct leadership level. Some will never leave, and that's fine. It's perfectly okay. But whatever officer or enlisted, you will start your career and hopefully develop into a well-rounded soldier and leader in the direct leadership echelon. For the next level of leadership, organizational. Organizational leadership occurs at the levels from battalion through corps within the military. This level of leadership, as I understand it, is kind of the middle ground between direct leadership and strategic leadership. Leaders in this echelon do, however, operate on a tactical level. Their influence is just much broader. At the organizational level, these leaders still have the opportunity to engage with members of the unit. Their interactions are not as frequent of that of the direct leaders among themselves, but are still prevalent. Because their interactions are limited, they must go through great lengths to ensure that their intent is clear and known by their subordinates. Alright, for the last echelon of leadership, we have strategic. Strategic leadership occurs at the highest civilian and military levels and in all sorts of different environments, whether they be foreign or domestic. The leaders on this level should be the best and brightest the Army and civilian population have to offer. The decisions made on this level have a lasting effect on our organization that will ripple for 10, 20, 30, sometimes even 40 years at a time. They must also have the vision and foresight to make decisions that will affect everybody beneath them, and that's a lot of people. So if you're in strategic leadership, there's a lot on your shoulders. There's a lot of stress that goes with that. There's also a lot of power. All right. So though the three echelons of leadership are different in their mission, intent, and scope of influence, one aspect is the same. They are all leaders and can all benefit from this common theme that applies to any and every person in a position of power. Leadership is the process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation while operating to accomplish the mission and improve the organization. Alright, that's all I have for my leadership slide. Moving along, we have professionalism. For professionalism, I have the Army asks a lot of us as soldiers. The Army wants us to be proficient at ending lives, but also to be compassionate to the surviving adversaries when we obliterate them. It seems like the two demands collide, right? We are being asked to be aggressive and violent, something that is a lot of times viewed as bad behavior in our modern society. But in addition to that, we are then told to show restraint and compassion for our enemies. It seems like too much to ask, but it's not. And it's not as difficult as it seems if we hold each other accountable. That's where our professionalism comes in. The Army wants us soldiers to be professional at all times, in and out of uniform, and in any circumstance. That's what makes us soldiers unique. If we are asked to close the distance and kill the enemy, we will. If we are asked to assist police during a riot, we will. Hurricanes will do that too. Hey, when we were told to mop the drill hall, we comply there as well. It doesn't matter the task given, we as soldiers will accomplish the mission given, no matter how big or small it is. Alright, so for my next part, I got ethics. Ethics is a critical aspect of the Army. The ethics of our leadership directly shapes the character of the lower enlisted. If the leader falters, his subordinates will almost certainly follow suit. Everyone needs to follow the code of ethics, and the leaders especially do. They set the tone. They are looked upon to be the example, to set the standard. As we talked about before, a soldier's MO is to be a killer, to end lives. This is why it is important to remind ourselves of what we as Americans stand for and to remain professional. Sometimes it is hard to maintain that balance between what the public expects to see in a soldier and fulfilling your role as a door kicker, but that's the job we signed up for. We must put an emphasis on staying true to our code of ethics, because if foregone, it's a slippery slope down to the enemy's level, and if we make it there, we've lost. All right. Professionalism is also looking out for the guy next to you. If any of y'all see anyone falter on anything we've discussed today, intervene and help them. If the soldier's problems are outside of what you can provide, seek help. It's not easy being a soldier, but we have something other professions lack, and that is a brotherhood to our left and right. So if you guys see anybody, struggling with ethics or anything we discussed today, seek help and try to help them out as best of you can. All right. That concludes my brief. Does anybody have any questions?